to eastern and southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
At least 20 people have been killed in a mass shooting in a busy El Paso, Texas shopping center. The Saturday morning attack also injured at least 24 others. The suspected gunman is in custody and authorities are working to figure out the motive. Stephen Nans has a closer look at the chaos that erupted inside the mall. We want to warn you, some of the images are disturbing.
On a day that would have been a normal day for someone to leisurely go shopping, turned into one of the most deadly days in the history of Texas.
Shots ringing out inside a busy shopping mall, sending panicked shoppers running for safety.
Run, Mija, run.
The Saturday morning attack at the Cielo Vista shopping center in El Paso, Texas, killing multiple people and injuring more than 20 others. That's according to police and local hospitals.
And then I hear boom, 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 boom.
People were running from inside the mall to Dillard's and they were just screaming to get out.
The active shooter situation put businesses nearby on lockdown.
Be careful, okay?
And they told us to go in the back of the room, and next thing you know it, they were saying there was an active shooter.
It was a whole bunch of kids just running around without the parents, and I was worried about the kids more than myself.
Shoppers taking cover as best as they could as gunfire erupted. The male suspect in custody has been identified as 21-year-old Patrick Crucius, according to 2 federal law enforcement sources and 1 state government source. Investigators are still looking into the motive.
It is a crime scene. If we do have multiple fatalities or multiple victims, we have to investigate each and every one of those.
I'm Steve Nannis reporting.
A Kentucky native is counting her blessings after being right next to the mall where the shooting took place. Dee Dee Wilkins is originally from Laurel County. She and her husband have lived in the El Paso community for 6 years now. Wilkins says they were walking to the building next to Cielo Vista Mall this morning when they saw people come running out. Wilkins says they went straight to their car and left safely.
I wasn't worried about my safety. I was more upset. I immediately started crying because my first thought is the mall. There's teenagers out there trying to get in, their last bit of fun before school starts. There's parents out there shopping with children.
Wilkins says the community is very tight-knit and she believes they'll bounce back after this tragedy. And we're learning police are investigating a deadly crash in Powell County. Officials say it happened near the intersection of Highway 11 and Nada Tunnel Road. Kentucky State Police say 2 people were killed in the crash. It's unclear if any others were injured. We will keep you updated on WYMT.com as we learn more information.
Overall, today has been a pretty quiet day here in the mountains, and tonight is a pretty quiet night as well. You can see right outside of our WYMT studios, not too much fog out there tonight, and really not too much going on either. Those temperatures into the 70s and the 60s, mid-70s for some, upper 60s for others. So overall, a little bit of a warm night out there, but it is a dry night. Satellite and radar really not picking up on too much, but we will see some changes heading in to the new work week, and I'll break those down in my full forecast in just a little bit, Connor.
All right, thank you, Kelly. Well, the man that ran the city of Boonville for more than 60 years has died. Mayor Charles Long was 99. He was believed to be the country's oldest mayor. Today, we look back at Long's life.
The story of Mayor Charles Long's legacy begins long before he was mayor. Born in 1919, Long had a love for Boonville, a passion he carried throughout his life, as he told WYMT in a 2014 interview.
I'm happy with the city of Boonville. I'm proud of the city of Boonville and Alta County.
He also had a love for his country. He served in the Navy during World War II. This is a photo of him and his wife of 72 years, Ruth, back when they were young. Ruth died in 2012. It wasn't until the 50s when Long decided to step into politics.
Somebody said to me one day, he said, "Charles, won't you run for city council?" I said, "I don't know about that." That's 1954.
He made that mayoral run in 1958 and
I've been mayor ever since.
To say Charles Long was passionate about Boonville would be an understatement.
I love all of you all.
And to say he was loved by many would probably still be an understatement.
I hope someday that I can say that been a good benefit for the people.
Back in 2014, we asked Long about his life and his thoughts on it. He was only 94 then.
Life has been, in a way, good to me, and I thank the Lord every day for living.
A grateful man who served his city until the very end.
Visitation for Long will be August 7th from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Boonville Funeral Home. His service will be August 8th at 2 p.m. Well, new information coming in just now. A judge has ordered the summary of the Black Jewel auction that took place in Cincinnati be released no later than 9 a.m. Sunday morning. As of Saturday, the court had, quote, received no word respecting the outcome of the auction, including the successful bidders and the terms attached. The sale will not be final until Monday's hearing in Charleston, West Virginia at 10 a.m. in federal court. The order allows creditors to review potential bids and file any objection. Judge Frank W. Volk will decide during Monday's hearing if the sale should be allowed. You can read more about this on our website, WYMT.com. Obviously, a lot of information on that. We will, like we said, keep you updated on that and on our website. Well, a donor gave the families of a Black Jewel coal miner in Harlan $10,000 to spend on back-to-school items. Joyce Chang, who ran 50 miles to raise money for the coal miners, says Terry Jones of Irvine, Kentucky, saw her efforts to help the miners and wanted to get involved as well. This morning, more than 160 kids lined up outside Shoe Show in Harlan with their families to spend their share of the donation. Officials at the event say it was heartwarming to see the families have a little relief.
A lot of the parents, they're wondering, how am I going to be able to afford these shoes to get my kids to go back to school? And, you can almost see the relief on their faces when they come in and see, well, my kids are going to have shoes for school.
Each kid had a limit of $60 to spend on shoes and a backpack. And Governor Matt Bevin made his first trip to the Black Jewel protest site near Cumberland tonight. The governor was quickly surrounded by miners and their families. They gave him one of the shirts that was made for them. Several local music groups are at the site performing a concert to help raise the spirits of those who have been camped there all week. Governor Bevin voiced his support of the miners, saying everything they have done this week says a lot about the caliber of people in the community. Changing gears to Western Kentucky. It's the traditional kickoff of the fall campaign season in Kentucky. Every year, thousands of people will go to the town of Fancy Farm to fill up on food and political stump-speaking. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on this unique event in Kentucky politics.
I want to welcome all of you.
A packed pavilion of people clearly divided on who they support.
Nuts. Bevin, he calls teachers thugs. He accuses them of things that are absolutely ridiculous.
And Governor Bevin and Senator McConnell have fought for coal miners, have fought for farmers.
A crowd of 10,000 took in the old-fashioned stump speaking, one half cheering, the other half heckling. Governor Matt Bevin was quick to criticize Andy Beshear over abortion funding.
This is another fundraiser that was held this week. It was held by and for Andy Beshear. It was hosted by the guy that owns the only abortion clinic left in Kentucky.
Bevin touted his record on unemployment, job creation, and passing a pension bill. Beshear says the race comes down to 4 issues of pensions, public education, jobs, and health care. Called out Bevin for how he treats teachers.
And Matt Bevin is the single greatest threat to public education we have ever seen. Matt Bevin thinks our teachers are ignorant thugs.
And while there was a lot of attention on the governor's race in addition to the statewide races, there was also a little bit of a preview of next year's U.S. Senate race.
Kentucky is leading the way.
Mitch McConnell will face an unknown challenger from the Democratic side, but he did mention one possible foe in Amy McGrath, who did not attend the picnic.
She sends her regrets. She's still working up an answer on Brett Kavanaugh with her friends at MSNBC.
Michael Borer of Lincoln County didn't speak, but did work the crowd and wants a shot at challenging the longtime senator.
So yeah, I think about Mitch a lot and what he's not done for Kentucky. Not brought social justice and not brought economic justice here.
It was a crowd clearly divided on who they support, but in nearly unanimous agreement on one thing.
The food, number one. The food is awesome. Go up there and eat, and it's just, the barbecue is super. The people go all out and cook the best vegetables you've ever had in your life.
Which side are you on?
At Fancy Farm, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
The picnic has been a tradition in the Little Graves County community for 139 years, and its primary purpose is to raise money for the St. Jerome Catholic Church and its missions. Well, in Lawrence County, a back-to-school bash brought out around 300 kids. Hosted at No Limits Fitness in Louisa, kids could get free haircuts, health exams, and school supplies. Of course, some inflatables, face painting, and dunk booth entertained the kids for a little more summer fun before school starts. The first day for Lawrence County School is August 7th. And it is that time of the year the kids head back to school soon. We have a list of start dates of schools in eastern Kentucky on our website. Just search for the story. Well, 14 new positions are being added to the Wayne County school system in West Virginia for the upcoming year, all of them focused on the mental well-being of students. The funding for the positions is coming from House Bill 206, which was passed in the legislative session at the end of June in West Virginia. There were 18 of those positions in the district last school year. This year, they are looking to hire an additional 14 to bring the district to 32. Well, around 4,000 people made their way out to the Appalachian Wireless Arena for a super event today. Lasting from 10 until 6 this evening, Pikeville's third annual comic and toy convention brought something for all ages. More than 100 vendors set up booths to showcase their work, sell homemade crafts, or even just take photos. John Kessler with the arena says they hold events like this to appeal to everyone.
We hit audiences that don't usually come and see a concert. So we're trying to appeal to all audiences, and that's what we're doing with this.
Panels made up of experienced cosplayers, writers, and artists shared their knowledge at the trade to audience members. Well-known stars like WWE superstar Sergeant Slaughter and voice actor for Squidward Tentacles from SpongeBob signed autographs and took photos. Officials say they are already looking forward to next year's convention. Well, coming up at 11, the second annual Scotty Hamilton Memorial ATV Ride brought around hundreds of people to the Knott County Mine-Made Adventure Park this afternoon.
We can expect a pretty calm night, and tomorrow will not be much different from today. But when do changes come to the forecast, I'll let you know coming up.